Hi, welcome to Take the Stress Out of Accounting and Taxes. So we all know how boring and stressful accounting and taxes can get, right? So we decided to make this into a story instead of a presentation. I'm Vimal or Vic or whatever you want to call me. I will be your storyteller today. I'm a CPA and just want to let you know before I start this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute any professional tax, accounting, or financial advice. Please do consult a competent professional that understands your situation. Also, various trademarks and copyrights shown in this presentation are of their respective owners. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's dig in to our topic, take the stress out of accounting and taxes. And so I'm going to tell you a story about two people that are starting a business and a few things they run into. So meet Sia and Drew. Sia is actually my 5-year-old daughter, and Drew is actually my 9-year-old son. And both of them are the main characters in the story because they are my biggest inspiration. So Sia and Drew have a great business idea and are kind of clueless. You know, Drew says, I have this business idea, but I have no idea where to start. But their little friend Pinky, who's a seasoned entrepreneur, is in the business of selling balloons, overhears them and he's like, hey, go talk to an accountant or lawyer first, which a lot of times that's not the first thing we think of, right? When we start a business, usually it's like, oh, let me start this business. And you go in, get into it. And a year later, you're like, oh, I need an accountant or someone to help me. But their wise friend Pinky tells them, go talk to an accountant or lawyer first. So then they're not sure about hiring an accountant or lawyer. And little Sia, she's a little skeptical, says, well, but won't that be expensive? And so Pinky again, he's like, nope, it's well worth it. And, on top of that, legal and professional fees are possible business deductions. And so Drew, he's a little wiser. He says, I guess let's find an accountant. So then they decide to talk to an accountant. And then Pinky, he's like, why don't you go talk to my CPA? His name is Vic. Tell him Pinky sent you. So then Drew and Sia find CPA Vic, who they explain their business idea to and tell him that they have this idea, but no idea where to start. So Vic says, no worries. I will give you a high-level overview. Let's just chat about the basics of accounting and taxes. We'll talk about the accounting systems, payroll systems, and just general tax stuff. Let's get started. Oh, but Sia, she says, well, can you help us set up the LLC too? And Drew's thinking, oh yeah, I did see it on TikTok. And Vic tells him, well, that's a great question. That is something a lawyer will help you get set up. So then Vic said, let's talk about accounting systems. Your very basic foundation of your business should be your accounting system. You want to make sure you have a good, solid accounting system. That way you can track all your income, all your expenses, and any major purchases you make for the business. And so he tells them, there are many systems out there, and nowadays everything is pretty much cloud-based where you can do it from your phone, computer, tablet, wherever. And so some of the major systems out there are Xero, QuickBooks, which is a large player in the market, FreshBooks. You can also do it spreadsheets or the good old pen and paper. But Vic tells them, I would not recommend you do anything manually because you will not make any accountant or bookkeeper happy. Fair enough. So now he tells them about accounting systems. Then he tells them, so you're starting a business, so you're doing it to make money, right? So you do want a good system to help you collect payments, do invoicing. And he tells them that you want to make sure whatever payment or invoicing system you do set up, it talks nicely to your accounting system. And so like QuickBooks, FreshBooks, some of the other, accounting systems, they also have built-in payments and invoicing. And then you can also have like standalone, like Stripe, Square, or Shopify. And there are certain custom industry solutions that are tailored to your industry. But again, end of the day, you want to make sure whatever invoicing payment collection system you set up talks nicely to your accounting system. And again, you want your accountant to help you set that up in the beginning. Fair enough. Then he tells them, if you have people working for you, they want to get paid too, right? Because nobody wants to work for free. So then there are various payroll systems and services out there like ADP, Patriot Payroll, OnPay, Gusto, Paychecks, or again, you could do payroll manually, but that's a big hassle because you don't want to have to calculate those taxes by hand. You don't want to have to manually go in and make your federal tax deposits, your state tax deposits, and then every quarter and every year you have certain filings you have to do. And so if you do subscribe to a payroll system, they will take care of all of those headaches. And the biggest thing you want to do is make sure it talks nicely to your accounting system because you want to have a good set of books. which encompasses all your revenues, expenses, your payroll, everything. So now that I've talked about payroll, bill payments. So, whoever you buy services or products from, they want to get paid too. So you want to make sure you have a good bill payment system set up. There are certain services out there like Bill.com, Melio. Your bank may have some kind of bill pay service, or you could also just write checks. Again, that's kind of a manual thing. Try to stay away from it, unless it's some kind of electronic check service. Then you may also have custom industry solutions for bill payment. And then just make sure whatever you pick is easy to use and talks to your accounting system. Fair enough. And then the dreaded taxes. So if you make a profit, you're going to have to pay some kind of taxes. Or if you collect some kind of sales tax, you're going to have to pay sales tax. And so you want to make sure you have a sales tax reporting system set up, because you may have local state taxes you need to file quarterly, monthly, or however often, depending on which locality you're in. Then end of the year, you have employees that will receive W-2s. Then you have contractors that you will pay 1099, issue 1099s to. And in order to issue 1099s, you want to make sure you're collecting the contractor's information throughout the year. Don't wait till the end of the year. There are systems out there like getw9.tax that can help you collect vendor data, your contractor's data. But just make sure it's not December or January where you're trying to chase down the contractor's information. So stay on top of that. And so then you have your income tax returns, your personal returns, business returns, and you want to make sure you have a bookkeeper and or accountant who is helping you administer all this, because there's a lot of things that happen at the end of the year, and you don't want to get overwhelmed, and you want to be proactive, not reactive. Fair enough? Awesome. So we've talked about accounting systems, payroll systems, bill payment, taxes, and so let's just talk about document storage real quick. All your documents and invoices, bank statements, everything you're gathering, you want to make sure you're saving them, storing them there somewhere properly. It could be your traditional file cabinet, Dropbox, Google Drive. Accountants have portals that you could possibly use. And then also there are custom industry solutions. Just make sure you keep good records, your bank statements, receipts, invoices, because a bank statement or credit card statement is not sufficient. It has to have some kind of backup, a receipt or an invoice, itemized receipt invoice. So just make sure you keep your records. And so here's some helpful tips real quick. Keep your personal and business expenses separate. Don't commingle them. Have a good set of books and records. That way it helps with year-end tax planning. And then, keep all your bank statements and receipts, invoices, either in paper or digital. Don't do things manually. Make it less stressful by using technology. Stay on top of your accounting and taxes throughout the year. That way it's less stressful. And the big one, don't be afraid to talk to your accountant, financial advisors, lawyers, and other professional advisors throughout the year. Be proactive, because whatever you pay them, remember, those are possible business deductions. And if you plan on doing like mileage or other deductions, make sure you keep a proper mileage log. So now that Dhruv and Sia have been schooled on how to make accounting and tax less stressful, they feel like they're ready to start their business. So you see Dhruv and Sia, they're both happy. And thank you for watching this story or listening to this story. If I can be of any help, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day.